Hey guys, Adam Rose, Vice President, Senior Loan Officer of Western Ohio Mortgage here in Sydney, Ohio, and this is another episode of the Mortgage Guy Podcast. And today we get to know Kyle Doak of Corporate Media Solutions. Kyle, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
So what I've started doing to kick this thing off a little bit is we've been asking people about their irrational fears, and you don't have one, right? Which you had a fun story at the beginning of which we might use.
Yeah. I don't have an irrational fear. I guess that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think I have one. I mean, spiders creep me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. But snakes, I can watch them from a distance. But I'm not a big fan. I'm not going to go out there and pick it up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would call that irrational.
Right.
So we had somebody on here not too long ago, and their irrational fear were cotton balls. So something to do with the dentist. So at least we don't have any of those. So we're good. So Kyle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Kyle Doak. I am the owner of Corporate Media Solutions. Mm-hmm. Basically started out in 2016 as Doak Photography. Did some rebranding, though, to work with more professional clients to get out of the family portrait space. Mm-hmm. And really since 2018, I've been working in the real estate field, doing photography for real estate agents. And really about that time, got into just widespread marketing in general, videos, and that type of thing, and just really kind of moved more into the marketing space since then.
So what kind of made you want to hop into this space? I mean, were you always were you in the AV club, you had that background kind of a thing? Were you always interested in photography, or just one of those hobbies that kind of just took off? Wow, I can do something with this. Yeah.
So not an AV guy in high school.
You don't have the look, so you had to have long hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So really though, I was into photography in high school. Had a camera back then. Just goofed around, took some shots of sunsets and stuff like that. Basketball games.
So did you have one of those little fat digital cameras? You remember when they first came out? I remember when I was in high school and they came out, it was huge, right? You didn't have this massive camera, and we thought these digital cameras were just, the cat's ass, right? But they were huge. You put them in your pocket and couldn't travel anywhere. Remember, because cargo shorts were a big deal, so you want something there, they're banging against your knee all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Is that what you started off on?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was. It did not have a removable lens, so it was kind of a big, bulky item.
Right.
I had to carry it around in the case. There was, like you said, there was no putting it in the pocket.
Right.
Sure.
No, it did not work. I remember when I was to travel in college, and I'd have one of those things. It just didn't work out very well. So your company was formed in what year was it?
2016.
Okay. So how did you dive into the real estate side? How did you enter that market?
Yeah. So really, it was something that had been on my mind since about 2015. I picked up a professional camera when my son was about 1 in 2015. That's really kind of what got me back into photography. Mm-hmm. But so it was on my mind to do real estate photos. I kind of saw a gap in the market locally. It wasn't really something that anybody was doing.
You're right.
So I had a friend, shout out Camille Lambert.
Yep.
It was her first listing, and I kind of sent her a text. I'm like, hey, this isn't something I've done before, but do you mind if I do your listing photos?
Yeah.
And if they're junk, then whatever. I'm not going to charge you for them.
Right.
I just want the experience. So they actually turned out really well. That property went under contract within a couple of days.
Did you get some comments on the photos?
Yeah. A lot of people liked the photos.
Very nice.
So that's really where it kind of took off. And after that, got involved with our mutual friend, Nikki Loudenbach.
Yeah.
Started doing some work for her. And really, after that, kind of took off, kind of started working with several different agents, to the point now where I work with about 20 agents.
Oh, wow.
From Dayton all the way up to the Findlay area.
Very good. Now, do you do anything with drones?
Yes, I do. Aerial photos, aerial video, that whole line of work.
That seems to be a really cool add-on to the photos, right? Doing a property view or flying around it. I think that's really neat, and it really drives a lot of attention to that property when that listing hits the market.
Oh yeah, definitely. Usually my recommendation is 3 acres and above. You got to get some aerial photos, just because you're not going to be able to show that depth.
You don't like to show the neighbor's house in the city?
I mean, that's definitely an option.
Don't mind the alley trash cans and the cats. That's not part of the property.
Don't mind the broke down car in the neighbor's
don't worry
backyard.
about that. Don't pay attention to that. Very good. So we went into real estate. We started doing that. Started getting the listings. It kind of blew up from there.
Yeah.
You started changing your image a little bit, right, to corporate media solutions.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to be able to be a little broader, right, in who you can help. So what all do you do at Corporate Media Solutions outside of that real estate realm?
Yeah, so really a lot of what I do is video related. As far as like this very setup here, talk with agents, suggest things to help them out, whether it's short form videos, long form videos for their website. Basically, after that, it gets into kind of like print related stuff, social media posts, things that are pretty more typical and standard in the industry is what you might see from marketing. But really what I specialize is kind of the video and the photography aspect of that.
Right. I know you did my first interview for BNI. Yeah, that didn't go great. But anyways,
I thought it went well.
I'm getting better at it, right? So we're getting better at it. And Kyle actually helps us out at the Ohio Mortgage Bankers Conference. Speaking of that, are you going to be there on May 8th? It's May 8th. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll make it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways, so it's a big help, really cool videos. And so on the marketing side, so let's talk about that briefly. So if there's a new company starting, it doesn't even have to be a new company, right, to attract attention. Even us, right, we're starting to get a little bit more active on social media, a little bit more active on YouTube. Do you have any tips or tricks that are proven and like, hey, you've got to be out there, you've got to be doing this in order to get attention?
Yeah, definitely consistency is the number one tip.
Okay.
Especially when you're starting out, it can feel like nobody's watching. Maybe you get one like on a post or whatever. But keeping that consistency of posting, whether you're wanting to post every day, whether you're wanting to post once a week, probably not a good idea just to post once a month. But if that's what you can do starting out, keep that consistency because the people who are paying attention are expecting you to post
right
at a certain time, right?
Yeah.
So
certain intervals consistent, like, hey, it's Wednesday, that new show comes out.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of big podcasts out there that have a massive following, right? Like Joe Rogan and Matt Walsh, right?
Yeah.
Conservative talk show. And they expect it at this point because they've gotten so big. Because it is hard, right? Because we started this about 2 months ago on this podcast. And, it's slow going, right? But we just got to keep it consistent and keep getting the word out there, the message out there, and keep that moving. Do you have any other tips on driving traffic? So, for instance, let's talk about this podcast. Any tips on driving traffic to a YouTube channel or to Spotify or anything like that?
Yeah, so one big thing is just get out there and post it everywhere that you can.
Okay.
We've seen in years past Facebook and Meta now.
Yeah, Meta.
Have been they were really good. You could get out there, you could get a ton of traction with organic, and now it's basically for a business like you just got to pay.
Yeah, it's changed a lot, hasn't it?
Yep. So they're really wanting to have businesses drive paid traffic places. So if you're a business and you can afford that, that's still a good way. Organic is definitely good, and you definitely got to be out there and posting that stuff. But and really posting links in your Facebook posts kind of drives down the traffic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if it's an outside link. So if you're linking to YouTube on Facebook, Facebook doesn't want the user to leave Facebook.
Right. Okay.
Stay there.
So one of the things and tips that you've told me about before was, we'll get to TikTok here in a second, but it's very related to such, were YouTube Shorts, right? Same style as TikTok. You see those, what are those Facebook videos? Those short ones, what are they? I don't even know what they're even
They're
called.
Reels.
Yeah, just Facebook Reels. Yeah, that's right. So that style is driving traffic because our attention span is ridiculously low. And so like those 20-second shots, those 30-second shots drive traffic. So, for example, if I did a Facebook short or reel, whatever the hell it's called, would that help drive traffic to something like our YouTube channel for buyer education or something like that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Anywhere that you can get your content out in front of people and just maybe in the video let them know where they can find that content.
Right.
Sometimes that may be the best option. Hey, check out our YouTube channel. It's da-da-da-da.
So you would say that a big fail or a no-no is just posting links attached to a Facebook post like, hey, here's a Facebook post, read about it, now go check it out.
Right.
That's a no-no? Okay.
Typically.
So I'm doing it wrong, guys.
Well, no, I mean, you got to do whatever you can do to get your name out there, right?
Yeah.
But typically, yes, Facebook does kind of punish outside links.
Right. So you did, I know when we talked about it, I don't know, hell, it's been 6 months ago, TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
What's your position on TikTok here? Not position politically, right?
Right.
Personally speaking, I think TikTok has a lot of garbage on it, and it probably should go. But for business purposes, does a business need to be on TikTok?
Yeah, I definitely say that small businesses for sure should be on TikTok. You're seeing a lot of big brands move there,
right? Yeah.
And you have to look at it kind of like a wave. You just kind of ride that wave, even if necessarily you don't agree with some of the practices and other things that are involved in that. It's still a wave, and you can still ride that wave to drive traffic towards you, and push up revenue in whatever way you have.
Right.
But yeah, I would definitely say. Get on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok, put the content is a little bit different. It's a little bit less formal. It's funny. You can be a little bit more creative with it. But yeah, it's definitely somewhere that everyone should be putting their content if they're not.
Yeah. I mean, jeez, those short videos, I'm telling you. I feel like it's ruining my own attention span. I don't even pay attention to TikTok, but like the Facebook Reels, right? It's the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's really the same thing. Yeah. But I feel like people go down a rabbit hole with that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so
you look up and it's 2 hours later.
Oh my God.
I just laid on the couch and watched these videos.
I feel dumber now. Have you ever felt dumber after watching a video before? Yeah. So TikTok's effective. Short videos are effective. Do we have any tips or tricks on websites or anything like that? Now that's a little piece that you do also at Corporate Media Solutions, right?
Yeah.
You play with their website. What all do you do there?
So we do website design. We set up, websites for businesses. And to your question of tip for websites, you want what we call lead gen magnet right at the beginning. So you typically see this as like a pop-up. You go to a page, it pops up, and typically it comes up with, hey, sign up for our email list and get this free offer. What a lot of people are doing now is you get it's more of like a kit. Like you sign up and you get a little kit. So it's like the people who are offering this are offering a little bit more value. And that's really what it comes down to is offering value to those customers. And so that when it's their time to buy, they'll come back to you because you provided them value. They will remember your business when they're looking to buy.
I was told by someone that does a lot of SEO work, right? Search engine optimization, for people that don't know what that acronym stands for, is when someone lands on your page and they're searching for a product or a service or whatever it might be, they have no idea who you are. They land there. 8 seconds is how long you have to grab their attention to keep them there. Is that correct? Does that sound right?
Correct. Whew. It is an amazingly short amount of time. Yeah.
That's not even enough time to even read the title of where you are at. 8 seconds. So that's why we have them on here is giving businesses some tips on what they can do to beef up their social media presence, beef up their website design to keep clients there. Because I'm sure the metrics and the analytic side of it, right? All the numbers on if you ask for information, it probably falls off a cliff, doesn't it? I mean, so in the first 8 seconds, if you're like, hey, give me this, give me this, give me this, if you want anything from us, it's probably ridiculous. Like, exit, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
no phone number.
It's usually like a 1% rate. Yeah, which, I mean, basically then comes down to numbers. If you're bringing in, you want to bump up those numbers. If you've got 100,000 people coming to your website, so you just want to bump up those numbers.
Very good. All right, so last little piece here that I want to talk about. Not even business related, but I have to ask everybody, do you have any kind of crazy real estate related story or anything in your industry that's like, this is what happened, man. It's nuts. Like, I have a stalker now, and and I have a restraining order against them. They keep.
So
what do you got?
No, nothing quite that dramatic. I honestly, the agents that I work with are pretty great at like handling details and making sure things are set up correct. I will say I did have a client one time. You know, so in my line of work, sometimes I'll show up, get a lockbox code, show up, nobody's there.
Right.
It's just simpler for me. It's simpler for the agent and the homeowners, depending on the circumstances. But so anytime that happens, I always knock on the door still, announce my presence.
Right.
You know, hey, real estate photographer here.
Yeah, everybody's packing around here, so you got to be careful.
That's right. And so that situation comes up, get a lockbox code, do the whole spiel, you know, knock on the door, announce my presence. Don't really hear anybody there. Do the entire main floor, go upstairs, do the entire upstairs. And I go to the particular part of this house that is near the basement stairs, and I'm hearing like somebody talking downstairs, and I'm like,
you creeped out a little bit. I'd be creeped out.
Yeah. So I listened for a little while longer, and I realized it's a movie playing. And so I open up the door and, you know, talk very loudly so anybody down there can hear me. And basically, to make a long story short, one of the owners was there in the basement, you know, just hanging out in their underwear watching a movie.
Yeah. I was afraid it was going to be worse than that, though.
No. So I'm just like, hey, I'm up here.
Yeah, don't worry about
like,
me.
oh,
it wasn't
are you ready for
R.
the basement?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I am.
Can you put some pants on,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah.
It's 11 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Time to get up.
So nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
but that's the extent of it.
Yeah, that's not too bad, right? All right, guys, that's going to be it for us this week. Now, what's the best way to contact you at Corporate Media Solutions? Is it email best, phone number? What do you got?
So email and phone number are both great options. You can visit my website, www.corporatemediasolutions.us. Send me an email at kdoak@corporatemediasolutions.us.
And what we can do is we can take that contact information. We'll plug it in onto the YouTube video as well. So you'll be able to contact Kyle Doak at Corporate Media Solutions if you guys need some help with your video marketing, your social media marketing, updating your websites, whatever it is. He'll be able to help you out and optimize getting your clients the information that they need and drive more traffic. That's it for us this week, guys. So we will see you next week. Remember, when you watch the YouTube video, click it, like it, love it, share it with your friends, and subscribe on YouTube, and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we will see you next week.